What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We are continuing with our Halloween Horror Nights 27 series of reviews. On today's review, we are going to be tackling The Fallen. Did you guys hear that? Let's try that again. On today's review, we are going to be tackling The Fallen. Now, The Fallen was located in the Soundstage 24 along with Dead Waters. Soundstage 24 always shares houses, so typically we don't usually get very big or long houses. Although I would probably say The Fallen felt longer than Dead Waters. So my pre-thoughts about The Fallen, when this house was first announced, they were talking about it was going to feature some bungee work, so we were going to have some aerial movements going on in the house, and this concept about light versus dark, it was a little vague, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be demons or monsters or what was going to be going on. I just knew there was kind of this war and we were kind of in the middle of things, and I love, Gothic when they did aerial stuff in that house, so it was kind of exciting to know that I was going to be able to see that once again, and also for newcomers to Halloween Horror Nights to experience that again as well. Now, my pros about The Fallen was facade was pretty solid, and most of the house was pretty cool. Not really bad, but just pretty average good, if that makes any kind of sense. Gave me a vibe sort of like one of my favorite houses, Hades, The Gates of Ruin. It kind of reminded me of that type of house because some of the creatures and some of the platforms and the design wise felt like you were kind of continuing from that house. The aerial stuff, it was kind of neat. I'll admit, there were times when it would happen and I would, find myself pointing up and be like, oh, that's really cool. So my cons for The Fallen, I would have to say, is some of the bungee work, or at least the way they're set up. If you've been to Hollow Scream, you heard or you would know what I'm talking about. The way they do bungee scares over there at their park, there's no comparison. Like, their park kills it with the bungee scares. Every time you get one, you drop to your knees. And in fact, they do them not only in the house, but out in the scare zone as well. They have them. And the way they do them, if you want to know, is they usually have a particular area that's pitch dark and you can't see the person there. And then all of a sudden they jump from out of the darkness and it like swoops and it makes you immediately drop down. But I never got that from this house. Most of these kind of setups for the bungees seem like stuff that they used before, like in the Gothic or Forsaken. And also there was an entire room in here that was the same room that they used in Body Collectors just a few years ago back at I think HHN 25. They used that exact same setup, exact same room. They changed out a few of the acting spots, but the same setup. So the premise that they spoke to us about light versus dark, and it sort of being this war that was raged, all I saw was monsters. That's all I saw the entire house. I never got this factor, this feeling that we are in the middle of a war. It just felt like there was monsters in every room. It kind of just didn't have any kind of cohesive story there. So maybe that's just me. only thinking of that? I don't know. Did you guys think about that? Did you guys get that feeling that we were in the middle of a war or not? So the Fallen for me on the scare wise, I'm gonna give it a solid 6, I'd say. It had a couple scares, but nothing like overall terrifying. Design wise, I'm gonna have to give it maybe a 6. And overall, I think I'm gonna give the Fallen like a 6. Let's just make it 666. Good idea. Started off really good, but then the execution along the way just kind of seemed like just a middle of the road kind of house. That's just my opinion on The Fallen. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comment section. Leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are going to be tackling another house next week, so leave it down in the comment section. What would you like to see me tackle, and maybe I will get to it. As always, thank you for watching, whether it be good night, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Stay tuned, and Zombie Chris is out.